Hello and welcome to the STABILA eCampus. For over 130 years, we here at STABILA have been developing and producing measuring tools of the highest quality for professional use. Today, my colleague Michael Haag and I are talking about a tool that is the daily companion of many millions of craftspeople on construction sites worldwide, the pocket tape measure. And because we at STABILA attach particular importance to our products, making work on the construction site as easy as possible, we are presenting our latest and highest quality tape measure, the BM300. Because the BM300 has numerous useful features and offers a particularly high application benefit. Michael, let's take a closer look at the BM300.
Let's do that. The BM300 has a compact, extremely stable and unbreakable housing made of PC-ABS plastic with a shock-absorbing soft grip jacket. This means it is well protected against falls, and the soft component makes it very comfortable to hold.
That's true, and I can well remember how many times we had test patterns in our hands and tried to find the optimal shape, and I must say the result is really great.
Absolutely, Holger. By the way, the housing has an integrated eyelet in the back. You can attach a wrist strap to it so that the tape can be secured against falling when working at great heights.
This is definitely advisable and in many countries obligatory.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. No one wants to get a tape on their head from a height of many meters.
That's true.
I'll go into the tape in a moment, but first I'll show you the slide brake. With this, I can fix the tape and stop it in a controlled way when pulling it in.
Okay, so many people do it like this, but you shouldn't do.
No, you definitely shouldn't do that. So if you want to enjoy your tape for longer, it is better not to.
It's just the longer the tape is pulled out and you let it through like this, there's a big impact.
Yeah, exactly. The force on the hook itself is getting higher and higher if it hits the housing itself. So for sure, we tried to prevent that a little bit, and we implemented some security functions, but no tape in the world can withstand that for the whole time, yes.
All right. So you shouldn't do that.
No, definitely not. So if you want to enjoy your tape for longer, it is better not to. The longer the tape is pulled back unhindered by the spring, the higher the force acting to the hook itself when hitting the housing itself is getting higher and higher. So you shouldn't do that. We have built in some protection for sure, but no tape in the world can withstand that in the long run.
Okay. So let's take the tape blade. First, which lengths do we have?
We currently have versions in 5 and 8 meters, and from the beginning of 2023 we will also have 10 meters.
Oh, great. Okay. So, what's so special about the blade? What can you tell us?
So, the blade itself has an extremely resistant protection of the scale against rust and abrasion. We achieve this with the STABILA nylon wrap sheeting.
So, it's like a protective cover over the metal blade.
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect description in the end. It always depends for sure on what you do with the tape and where you work. Often the blade comes into contact with dust, coarse dirt or sand, which in combination with the unwinding and winding of the blade can of course lead to high stress and abrasion. This is counteracted by our nylon wrap.
Okay, good. So how far can I pull out the tape blade?
So the blade has a high material thickness, and because of the special form, it can be extended up to 3 meters without kinking.
Okay, this should be quite sufficient in most cases.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Let's take a closer look at the scale. What's so special about the scale?
So it is very easy to read. At STABILA, we always have a scale where the 10 numbers, you can see it here, are printed in red. This makes it much easier and faster to read the tape in the end.
Okay, here we see the normal metric scale. We also have inch scale probably.
Yes, we have the inch scale and the metric inch scale. So both versions mixed together.
And for our Australian friends, even some with the first numbers in millimeters.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so all variants, great.
Yeah.
If I want to measure the other way around?
Oh, that's absolutely no problem, because we have a double-sided scale, so you can also read it from the bottom.
That's nice. Not every tape on the market has this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, very practical. These are all the features which you often don't see in the shop, where you don't pay attention to when buying a tape, and afterwards, if they are missing, you regret it. So, double-sided scale is something really practical. Let's talk about the hook itself. What can you tell us about the hook?
Also there, we put a lot of thought into the development itself. We have also taken into account the suggestions and feedback of numerous professional craftsmen. The hook is particularly large. You can hook it in different measuring positions. Depending on the material, however, you often have the problem that a metal hook slips off if the material underneath is smooth. Some tape measures have some metal claws in the end, but for sure these can leave marks, especially on some sensitive materials. We have a very special solution, the STABILA SPIKES hook.
Okay, let me see here. Looks a little bit like sandpaper.
Yeah, that's a perfect description in the end. It's a special coating that prevents the hook from slipping off when measuring.
Okay. Another useful feature, I must say, which you only discover at a second glance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And look here, with the nail eyelet integrated in the hook, you can also fix the blade to a nail.
Okay, just put a nail in the timber and then often the carpenters use that.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Okay. But is it always ensured that you measure 100% correctly?
Definitely. So you can use the hook however you want it. It will definitely measure every time completely correctly. And that's exactly why the hook itself is movable. So you can see it here. I can move it to the front and the back a little bit. It often happens that users think the hook is loose and broken because it moves.
That's true.
But it has to be exactly like that, because that's how we ensure that the measurement is always correct. No matter if you push the tape somewhere or pull it towards you, the moving of the hook itself compensates exactly the thickness of the hook itself.
Yeah, this is cleverly made, and as you said, often people think it's broken or damaged, and that's the reason why it's movable.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, clever. As a layman, you wouldn't even think of it. Small cost, big effect. Okay. Finally, let's say something about the belt clip. Most belt clips you find on normal tapes are just a bent metal blade and often quite sharp-edged. And I often fear that I would just scratch my belt if I used it.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And also many of the craftspeople we interviewed said exactly the same thing. We listened and said to ourselves, there must be a better way to do that. And here is the solution, the STABILA EASY-CLIP. This is not a bent sharp-edged metal sheet, but a thick, smooth clip that securely fastens the strap to the belt. And the clip is very easy and comfortable to use thanks to the metal push blade on top.
Very nice. Another clever detail. You just have to think about it and you will find a good solution for just normal everyday problems.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it is. And as a manufacturer, you every time have to decide, do you want to optimize a product in terms of costs? In other words, make it as cheap as possible. But this is at the expense of comfort and practical use for the user. Or do you want to offer a product that is as easy to use as possible on a daily basis, making work faster, less cumbersome, and more efficient?
I would definitely go for that as a craftsman.
Yeah.
I mean, the cost is forgotten, and if you use it every day, you want the quality, you want the robustness, you want to rely on it, you want to make your work as efficient as possible.
Yeah, and you will be annoyed by a cheaper tape in the end, so it's definitely like that.
Absolutely. So, a double-sided scale, the STABILA SPIKES hook and the EASY-CLIP are of course more expensive to produce, that's clear.
Yeah.
But I have to measure several times a day. The slightly higher price would be less important to me than the gain in comfort.
We thought so too. And as a measuring tool specialist, we at STABILA have always wanted to provide our customers with the best possible tools with optimum application benefits.
A beautiful conclusion, Michael.
Thank you.
So I hope we have been able to convince you, our dear viewers, of the many helpful features of the STABILA BM 300 pocket tape. And we will be delighted if you tried it out. We are sure you will not regret it. Thanks for watching, see you soon, and good luck with everything you do.